everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our webinar. Today we have a special guest. We have Nick Wolf, the Director of Partner Acquisition at Cork. Nick has spent his entire career working with MSPs, including 9 years at Datto as one of its first employees. And earlier this month, Nick was also listed in CRN Magazine 2024 Channel Chief list. So keep an eye out for that interview. Let me make a quick introduction on Cork before I hand everything off to Nick and Carlson. Cork is a cyber warranty offering that MSPs can resell to SMB clients that offers financial protection in the event of a cyber attack. And with real-time monitoring for lapses in coverage, no deductibles, no lengthy security questionnaires, policy activation can occur within minutes and financial payout coverage within hours. So Cork becomes an easy decision for SMBs looking for an alternative or supplement to traditional cyber insurance. So guys, thanks again. I appreciate you guys making time for us because this is a very important topic. You guys already know cyber risks occur. Well, there's cyber attacks occurring every day, and businesses need to add those layers of security. And a warranty and insurance are an absolute must now, right?
Yep.
So I'm handing off control to you guys. So please take control. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do appreciate you giving us the opportunity here. So me and Carlson, we both come from the Datto landscape, and there might be some other familiar faces that you might recognize here as well. So Cork was created by Austin McCord. He was actually Datto's founder. So, after he sold Datto off to Kaseya a couple years ago, he didn't want to take the money and run and go retire on a private island. He wanted to stay in the MSP space, committed to the channel. So we're super excited to be working with him yet again here as, the founder and board chair of Cork. And Carlson, who else here at Cork do we have that people might recognize?
Well, it's interesting, right? You kind of brought that up. I think when we all kind of the journey wrapped up at Datto, a lot of us could look back to the MSP communities, like what else do we want to solve for, right? And then so we kind of brought together. It's probably I would call it the Avengers of MSP space. If you take a look at the picture here, right? You got players like those of you in the security focused guys. You probably heard a guy named Ryan Weeks, right? Our former CISO at Datto. He probably knows the hack that's happening before the bad actor thinking about it, right? This is a guy that we brought on board to help us to make sure that what we do at Cork is really going to help you to prevent the attack from happening before. Then you got a guy like Rob Ray. I mean, I think if you've been to any MSP event, you either have his bar tab pay, or he probably pay for your bar tab, or more important, he knows every person within the community. He knows exactly where percent of the voice for every MSP that might be listening to the podcast. You know him. He's gonna be the one who will back you from all vendor perspective. And of course, then we got guys like Irvish, who's point knows the early days of Dattos, has been channel chief. He also knows what's needed, standing on the side of the MSP community. Our goal is really be able to not only create the best product that would fill the gap for them, but having guys that knows his business. This is not a bunch of folks who got out of school and say, we got this idea and go do this. This is like, we got a vet. I call the Avengers of the MSP space coming together and bring this to you.
All
Absolutely. Absolutely. So at the end of the day, what exactly is a cyber warranty? Well, what I like to do is I like to compare it to the auto industry. In the auto industry, you have car insurance and you have a car warranty. Both are separate things. Both offer financial assistance and both are super important. Car insurance is protection if you have an accident or if your car is stolen. Whereas a car warranty is really helps you prevent and remediate an accident before it happens. Because when I think of a car warranty, I think of a check engine light that appears. You're driving in your car, that check engine light appears because something is going wrong with one of the parts or components in that vehicle. And that's really the story we like to sell here at Cork. In the cyber landscape, you have cyber insurance, which is super important, giving you protection if you have an incident in your cyber landscape. And what Cork does is we come into play as a cyber warranty because we're going to help prevent and remediate an incident before it happens. think of us in a lot of ways like the check engine light for your MSP. So if we see things like MFA getting turned off or EDR getting uninstalled or backups not running, those are all things that we're going to proactively alert our MSPs and their customers to, because ultimately at the end of the day, we want to provide a financial payout just like a warranty and an insurance plan does without the risks of that getting denied. And that's one of the blind spots that we're typically seeing with cyber insurance is that if you're filling out those insurance questionnaires wrong, there's no visibility checking or checks and balances. Whereas with us, we're fortunate enough to have that.
That's a really so
Mm.
really I don't see it as a warranty company. I see it more as a software company because that is very sophisticated technology. Because man, I would love to know. I mean, if somebody uninstalled my security, my layer of security, I would love to know why, when did this happen, and who's doing it. So wow, very impressive. So keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's a great, yeah. The warranty is really just an add-on to the monitoring platform that we give all our MSPs. And before I say that, I'm just going to warn MSPs right now. When I say it's a platform, it's not yet another piece of software you have to install. So the way that we work is no hardware needs to be deployed, no software agent needs to be running. It's all going to be API driven with the cybersecurity stack that you as the MSP are selling your clients. So we're tying into your RMM, your EDR, your backup, your MFA.
Yep.
And we tend to be vendor agnostic. So I don't care if you're a Datto shopper, a Kaseya shopper, Ninja, or ConnectWise. I don't care if it's Sentinel One or Huntress or Microsoft Authenticator or Duo. We play with all of the kids in the sandbox. We're going to tie into all of their APIs. And because of that, we're able to, again, provide a warranty in real time to clients with real time visibility without the need of having to send out a 1,000,000-page long security questionnaire asking your client, hey, is MFA turned on? Is EDR installed? We don't have to ask those questions because we already know the answer. We see Sentinel One checking in. We know Duo is running for MFA. We see all that data in real time.
Yeah, I think I'll also add to something really interesting for us because I think when we approached this issue when we started was we talked to huge group, two, 3 dozen of MSP. The one thing that kept them up at night was, did I fill out the form correctly? Or for that matter, the legal counsel say, don't fill that form out. When you fill that form out, you now have legal liability. If you check that checkbox that the MFA is on, it's 0 100. It doesn't go in between when somebody's not on, right? Then the other thing that kept them up was, well, my client's going to get this policy and they require us to switch to this technology stack or this solution. So when we took both of those in place, we go, guys, you know what? We got to let the MSP to do what we call bring your own security stack. I'm trying to do BYOB, but we did BYOSS. That's as good as we're going to get, right? But the reality is every MSP is unique. Every one of their clients are unique. You're going to find the right security stack that matches your needs, your resource, and your client. So using that as an approach, how we've done it was we just let you plug right in. It takes less than 5 minutes to really get the environment in place. And beyond that, it's not just a one time you fill out the form, we'll come back to you later. We're continuously to what Nick's point talking about. We are there to keeping watching out for you, giving the flip of the signal to say, ding, 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 Nick just turned off his MFA. Or for that matter, probably one too many time, MSP out there will not admit that one of the tech turned off MFA to do a diagnostic with one end user, and then the spouse called and say, "Can you go pick up the kids?" and never forgot to turn it back on. It
Yeah.
happens more than
Yeah.
once. This is
Okay.
where this check engine light comes on. This is where our active cyber threat prevention comes in and say, "Hey, folks, flip it back on. You got some period to flip it back." This is the important aspect because for us, prevention is better than recovery. Now, in the case of a recovery does happen, something does happen. This is where the warranty kicks in to give the MSP and their client instant access to dollar amount and the claim process. We've all done it within days than months. But this is really a unique product we created specifically to help, put a security blanket around the security stack for the MSP and give them a good night of sleep.
Nice. Nice. That's great.
While also making money along the way. Because
That
with
too.
insurance, typically MSPs are not making money in that conversation, and they're left in an awkward spot because, well, first off, elephant in the room here. Insurance is super important. If you're listening to this call, you should be having cyber insurance. Period. End of the discussion. No questions there. But the issues with cyber insurance from an MSP standpoint is that the end user needs to deal with the broker in order to qualify for cyber insurance. And in order to buy the cyber insurance through the broker, they have to fill out a lengthy security questionnaire. And most of the time, it's the MSP that's doing a lot of that heavy lifting, guiding the end user to answer those questions out correctly for them to get coverage. So now the MSP is investing all this time, and ultimately the MSP isn't making any money along the way, because really the only person who makes money with cyber insurance is the insurance broker.
Yeah.
So by opening up an avenue where an MSP can now sell warranty as financial protection to the client, they're making money. They have some skin in the game here, in addition to offering their clients financial protection. Yep.
So you're saying that you the MSP resells your warranty. They just add it as a line item to their invoice that, okay, here's the warranty, here's the cost.
Exactly. And in fact, one of the ways that our MSPs are selling the warranty in tandem with cyber insurance is that with our warranty, we actually cover the insurance deductible. So sometimes cyber insurance deductibles could be thousands, they could be tens of thousands of dollars, and Cork is going to pay it off. So one of our MSP's innovative technology solutions, what they did was they had a client that already had a $2 million cyber insurance policy. And what they did was they had that client increase the deductible from $5,000 to a $25,000 deductible. As a result of that, the client ended up saving around $2,000 to $3,000 a year from their insurance plan. And instead, what the client did was they used that savings to purchase the Cork warranty through their MSP. So now in the long run, the end user got more coverage for less money. Yes, the insurance deductible is higher, but they used all the savings that they got by raising that deductible to buy the Cork warranty. It's now the Cork warranty that pays off that raised deductible, as well as giving you all the other benefits that come with our typical warranty plans.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So some of the advantages of our warranty is that, we give instant access to funds, whereas typically with cyber insurance, you might have to wait several weeks or several months for a payout. We're also covering attacks like SMS, phishing attacks, gift card scams, wire transfer frauds, which are, again, typically not covered by a cyber insurance policy. Those are things that are going to really kick in with our warranty.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because this is one of the interesting piece we learn a lot about the space, right? Is that MSP always asks this question in the early days, like we get client that get these text messages from the boss that says, "I'm in a meeting. Can you send me a gift card for 500?" How many times have that client fallen into that? He's like, MSP said, at least one, if not a dozen of my clients it happens more than less, right? Insurance doesn't cover that. This is where we come into uniqueness to again helping our MSP to be the hero for our client, for their client. That's really why we put such a unique feature in place. Then at the same time, I think to kind of emphasize, Nick's point of whole is insurance is needed, but it's not perfect, right? I think you probably can see insurance policy that is, oh, my client got a $5 million policy and they pay nothing for it. Well, the reality is, if you go double click down into the environment, you are going to find an environment where, yes, it might be a $5 million policy. In fact, this is actually a policy we reviewed for our MSP, $5 million policy, okay? But the ransom coverage is only up to $100,000 per incident.
Ooh.
5 million. I'm going to repeat it. A $5 million insurance policy sub limit for the ransom attack is $100,000. Now, I'll put that's. Let me add some icing on the cake. The retention, which is written in the policy, which is just a deductible, is $75,000. So,
Oh wow.
so the crazy part is that $5 million amazing policy this end client have in the case of a ransom attack, which is 50% or more they attack for small and medium business, that MSP cover for, only can pay out maximum at $25,000. That is insane. You think about that. But I
Yeah.
do have a $5 million policy. This is kind of where we took a look at a piece. How do we complement an existing cyber insurance policy, filling those gaps for the end client? And now they have the upper limit to work with. So those are the things that for us learning about the space, being able to help to create a product that fits well into what's needed today.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, 100%. And to write off that, Carlson, there was a recent study that came out by Delenia, and They took a really deep look into the state of cyber insurance for 2023. And like we mentioned earlier on this call, cyber insurance is super important. All small businesses should have it, but it's not a silver bullet. It's not you pay this price for cyber insurance and we're going to 100% pay out everything all the time. It's just not it. It's just it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So what we've noticed based on the Delinea report is that every respondent of that report said they had at least one exclusion in their policy that would void coverage. If you don't have XYZ, the policy is void. And yeah, which is crazy. We saw it happen about a year or two ago with Travelers Insurance, right? The end user said that they had MFA turned on, and they did have turned on MFA for some users, but not all users. And as a result, the Travelers Insurance did not pay out the MFA, did not pay out the insurance claim during the attack because they misrepresented their MFA use, and that's just sad. Yeah. We're also seeing, cyber insurance is definitely getting more expensive, and we only see that going up and up and up. Based on the report by Delinea, we're seeing a rise of around 50 to 100% in their cyber insurance premiums each year. Since people shifted to working from home during COVID, cyber insurance costs have just pretty much skyrocketed and gone through the roof. We're also seeing cyber insurance becoming a more lengthy process. It's not as easy as, a click of a button and now you have $5 million worth of coverage. You're talking about, approval times waiting very, very long to qualify for insurance, as well as even getting the payout from insurance, which is unfortunate. And really where Cork shines the most is like our bread and butter, our prime target audience is the small business space, because we're seeing that get neglected in the insurance space. Even according to Delinea's report here, 28% of small businesses are denied cyber insurance coverage. They can't even qualify for it. And even if you're lucky enough to have cyber insurance as a small business, 40% of small businesses had their claims denied due to a lack of security protocols. And again, this isn't our data. This is vetted and verified by Delinea, a third party that put this all together.
This is also the trend amongst everything else, like 401k. If you try to get 401k plan as a small business, you're going to be running into like maybe one plan, and it's going to be like the redhead stepchild of all the other plans. And medical coverage, you try to get medical coverage, it's like they give you one option, and it's not a good one. And dental, they don't allow you to go higher.
Nope.
Everything is super redacted down for the small business, and it's really hard to get through it all.
Sure.
Yep. Which is why our prime focus is catering to small businesses. But how do we at Cork reach the small businesses? It's through the managed service providers.
Yep.
Because without the managed service provider, we don't have access to the small business network. We don't know what they're using for EDR and MFA. That's why it's crucial for us to form this channel-only business model, working with MSPs, because MSPs have access to all these tools. And our success is really based off of the MSP success, which is why we give all of our MSPs that sign up as a Cork partner a ton of sales and marketing support, co-branded marketing assets, whether it's social media templates they could use, one-pagers, brochures, slide decks, animated explainer videos, because at the end of the day, we want our MSPs to be as successful as possible when it comes to increasing their revenue, selling Cork. And again, we're just here to support in any way possible.
Now, Nick, as you know, you got IT guys. They're not great at sales, right? They're just terrible at selling value. They're great at selling tech services and IT support. And we do things differently as single point of contact, right? And that's why we developed the MSP Corner, is to have frameworks so these guys learn how to sell value instead of that with speaking in technical terms. Do you guys provide any type of sales support, or do they need to have, like, it has to be a minimum size of opportunity, or
Carlson, you take it away, sir.
I'll take that. Here's this, right? Look, I've been a small, medium business owner myself when I started my consulting business early days. You don't have the time and the energy for that. I started as a tech guy, and you think about it, exactly your point. I don't know how to sell by value. So there are a couple of things that we do, right? One, as simple as what, Nick has shown it. Here is a ready to use material with your logo on it. That's starting point. Second, here's what we have. We have these monthly sales academy where we bring partners in. Their job, our job, is to train them how to sell value. We give them the tools. We almost create an internal peer group so that MSP that been selling it is on the side with the other MSP coming on board and helping them along that way. But more importantly, at the end of the day, as of today, we don't have a minimum. As long as you're selling one warranty to your end client, you're a partner of ours, you come on board with us, there's no saying, well, you got to sell minimum X number of volume there. For us, every partners have the same equal ground. We want to help them to be successful because the faster they learn how to sell the value, the faster they can differentiate themselves from another partner. I'll take a good example for you. One of the early adopter partner in the late last year, he came to us and say, can you believe this? I actually won a bid where I was the highest price out of everybody. It was a 3 bid that got in. But what he did was he had bundled in the Cork warranty within his managed service agreement. So he was able to differentiate from the other players who will have lower price point or have been a much bigger equity, being in the market much longer. The client said, I pick you because you give me the 100K warranty that I know you're backing it financially of the work that you do. So when we saw that, we're like, wow, this MSP knew how to position it well. So we took that to say, let's create a sales academy to help our MSP who has a coming on board, teach them the tool, give them the tool. And this is not just marketing, it's all the case study, tools like this for them to go to market with that framework very quickly. That's really something we have learned. We got to be a partner with them. If you're not there with a partner, it makes it very difficult for both of us to win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that if you want an MSP to represent your firm, you gotta educate these guys on how to position your firm as the ideal solution. So, guess what? I'm going to be signing up for one of those courses. So I position you guys, learn how to position you when it comes when an opportunity comes up, because this has to be in place. There's just it's too beneficial, right? You guys are going to cover the deductible. You're gonna provide them with a technology that's going to alert them that, hey, MFA has been turned off and needs to be turned back on. I mean, there's just there's too many benefits to it, right? So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and that's really what we're trying to do, is provide as much value as possible for MSPs to give financial protection to their small business customers that either can't qualify for insurance, or if they do have insurance, it's maybe a lackluster policy that, is going to claim deny here, claim deny there, or hey, yeah, we'll pay you out, but give us, a $25,000 deductible first. So it's really designed to fill in that void.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
Great.
Awesome. So I think one of the last questions we got here is, Carlson, how do MSPs know that, Cork being a startup and everything, startups come and go. How do we know that there's actually money in the piggy bank here? How do we know that we're not collecting the money and we're not going to be here tomorrow?
That question get asked. That question get asked all the time. That was probably like my first year, right? When we founded the company, we were in incubation for 1 full year, for a very good reason. We could have gone a shortcut, like what other play would call, you might hear other warranty product, other insurance product. We want this to be a smart warranty product, right? The smart part with the intelligence platform, but the other part is the warranty has to be backed with actual financial product. And I think I won't bore everybody with all the insurance term and such. The way that we look at it is simple. Every warranty that the MSP resell to the end client is backed by Cork's own capital. I'll remind you, it's not offset to resell this risk to another insurance company. We believe in our product and our mooring platform so much. We take our own capital. We create our own what they call captive to back every one of these warranty. That's the first starting point. The second question where you can ask, oh, great, I'm hearing that you're backing every warranty with your own money, but at some point that drill can run right. What happened if there's a massive supply chain attack? Well, guess what happened? We also went out and partnered with some of the number one A-rated reinsurance company called Hitchcock and Gallagher. People can Google the name. They're some of the top player. They're reinsuring us in case our piggy bank, our captive run dry. They will take it over. Why? Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure every one of these warranty that MSP resell to the client will get paid within days, not months, and they'll be paid with real cash, not funny money. That's really probably for those MSPs, some of them are very sophisticated and understand their insurance landscape. But what's under that pyramid, under the little iceberg, is with our own capital, with A-rated reinsurance company that back every one of these warranties, so they know it will get paid. So that's really it's a unique way of going at it. We could have done the shortcut, but the reality is we want to do it right with the A team, and that's what we believe in.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Carlson. So to wrap things up here, just as some next steps for MSPs, again, we would like to make it as easy as possible for MSPs to get started with us here at Cork. Again, there's no quotas or minimums or setup fees or training fees or anything like that. When you're a partner, really, the bare minimum is just one warranty, whether it's a warranty you use internally to protect yourself or a warranty you resell to a client down the future. And we like to make these as cost effective as possible. So we have, our $100,000 warranty. It's going to cost an MSP under $100 a month, and we have $500,000 warranty, which is going to cost MSPs under $300 a month. So, a couple options for you if you wanted to get started as an MSP reseller of Cork.
So this let's say the $500,000 one is $300 a month. That it's regardless. That's per company, right? So per client.
Yep.
Yeah. And regardless of how many employees they have.
So this is targeted towards small businesses. So that the initial pricing is going to protect a small business, regardless of revenue, regardless of location, regardless of vertical, up to 50 endpoints.
Okay.
If they have more than 50 endpoints, we could still service them. There might be a little surcharge there if they have more than 50 endpoints. But the vast majority of the MSPs that I've been dealing with, they have small business customers that have, 10, 20, 30 endpoints. And for those types of environments, the pricing are going to be exactly the same, whether it's a 15-person organization or a 45-person organization.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I like it. I like it. All right.
Awesome.
I like that.
Great.
Well, Fernando, thank you so much for having us on. It's a pleasure to be a part of the MSP Corner, and we look forward to working with you and your group members as time continues.
Exactly. Hey, I'm gonna thank everybody for joining us. Let me just stop recording. I want to talk to you and Carlson for just a couple more minutes, but thanks again for joining us. Everybody listening, thank you. If you have any questions, reach out to me, sales@mspcorner.com. Thank you again for listening. Have a great day.